Hey, welcome back to the L Ranch. Today we're going to kind of continue with our work on the mountain home map. Um, our projects today are going to be to finish the main ranch headquarters area and get our barns and stuff up here for our tractors and equipment. We've already done some work. We've got our silos in over there and our fermenting silos there. We've put in one building. That's actually going to be our truck park. We'll take you over and show you that in just a minute. And then we actually have the super large hay straw storage barn here, and we'll be setting that up today too. First off, guess what we're going to do is get started off with getting our combines, trucks, setup and our combines. We're going to be using the Colossus combine on this map, and I'm going to go with just short of the 60-foot header for the honeybee headers, uh, and hopefully we'll get a good look at those while we're putting it together. But that's what we're going to do today. Enjoy the music, enjoy the map, and I'll be talking to you again in a minute. One of the things that's kind of interesting about this map is that there are a couple of versions of it. One of the versions does not have this building here. You'll see when we start picking up equipment here in a minute that that's actually where everything will spawn. And once you purchase it, it'll actually spawn right out here in this area. Um, let's look at the lowboy trailers first is what we want to do. What we're gonna do is pick up the lowboys that have the header rack built onto them. Have to go with the 25 meter because the smaller, you have to have this one for the larger header. Most of the choices that I'll make in here are just aesthetic choices. I usually go with the Randon wheels, 5 spokes, fine with me. Then it's going to ask you if you want the cutting bar mount or not. I always go with yes. Auxiliary shoes really aren't necessary unless you're going to load or unload the trailer while it's sitting still. 95% of the time I actually keep it attached to a truck all the time, so that's not an issue for me. The floorboards, flooring extensions, since we do use the larger combine, I'm going to have those. The older looking one is okay, but I like to go with the new one just to start off clean. Ramp extensions, don't need them, always get them though. Um, and on the body, there's I like the standard because it seems to be a cleaner look. If you go with the other one, it's more angled. Uh, as far as there being any difference in it in actual use, there isn't. So just go with what you like. Dimension plates, triangles on the back. Don't care for much. They went into put a lot of work into the tail lights on these, and so I tend to go with the. There's one that's kind of a double S shape like that. For some reason, I like that one, so that's the one I go with. Um, this is the air system. It just looks cool. Might as well have it. It's gonna cost you a lot extra, $1,600 for the trailer. I never go with attachers. This trailer's already too long to begin with. Um, usually take the dimension plates off. Disassembled tires, I'll show them to you just for FYI, but they just get in the way. Bumpers, there's a couple of different bumper models on this. I like the extended channel iron one. Colors, I tend to go with, since I usually have two different combines, I go with one trailer that's one color, one trailer that's another color. Cutting bar support, for me, I always set it to black. Um, Again, just visual preference is all. I usually match the bumper to the rest of the trailer. And then rim color, you can go with anything. I usually go with either the metallic or one of the grays down here, like that. I think it looks better. And then, so for the tag on these, I try to mark my stuff. So, and it's probably silly, but to differentiate my things, my teams, or what I call teams. So I'll actually set up two combine trucks and two combines that'll go as a set. One will be, the trailer will be Lowboy 1. Then the truck that I haul the combine with will be C1. And the combine, of course, will be the combine CB1 and CB2. And I'll try to kind of color coordinate it. It's just visual preference is all. It's going to be something different for me. I'm actually going to use the new Colossus Lizard Combine now. First time I've actually seen it. I'm going to go with the high capacity version. That way we'll have 72,600 liter capacity. The track setup and everything seems to be fine with me. I usually go with the Nokian tire. gonna go with the LED flashers. No window tint. And one of these will actually be yellow. With the red. I'm going to go with the Massey red on it. Nah, you know what? I don't like that. It's too bright. There we go. Darker red. And then I'll leave the frame the dark color that it is. The rim color's fine at gray. And for this here, we're going to change this to CB1. And okay it. It's going to be our purchase on that one. On the next one though, what we're going to do is just switch that exactly up. And that way we can tell them apart in the field. We're going to change this to a 2. And that's going to be our purchase on that. Next we're going to go grab our honeybee headers. Fantastically well done model. Along with being, you know, probably some of the later tech that's available to us out here. The 18.3 to me is just a little large. You can knock a lot of stuff out with it really quick, but it's too big for some situations. So I usually go with the 15.2 header on anything. And you can, I'm using a mod that allows you to change your field speed so you can actually go a little quicker. 11.9 still, but crop dividers, I usually go with canola knives. No reason other than I like the way they look. The cross auger, almost always on that. The wind carry system, I think it really needs to make it look appropriate for the combines that we're dealing with here. The height control, best I can tell, it doesn't really make any difference whether you use it or you don't use it, but I usually do for, and all it does is, if you'll look, there's some, let's see if I can zoom in closer here. There's some extra wheels that it adds and takes off. They look almost like little dolly wheels. So, but again, don't really have to have that, but makes it look a little more realistic. And you're just gonna purchase 2 of those for the combines that we have. Now, then we're gonna need our trucks for that. And I tend to go with 82s trucks for that, and just because of the size of what we're pulling here and everything, it allows for you to have that extra little dab of horsepower. Usually do the TLX CMS. Again, that's just a sound preference option, so. And I go with the, I try to go with the long without the, there we go, that was the one I wanted right there. Nope. It's going to be the heavy haul without a sleeper. Don't really have any reason to use the sleeper on it. You'll see why I use the longer frame on this in a minute when we go to hook the trailers up. I'm going to go with the Nokian, and it's going to be all agriculture in the Nokian. I think vintage I think is what I've been using. Trilix, that's the one I want right there. I don't use any of the special editions, although they're really cool. I kind of like doing it myself. I don't run any decals on the you know what, I think I'm going to go with that today. And go with the blue underglow. I really like the big chunky pusher bumper on it. Standard mirrors are fine for me. I don't need any extras. The exhaust is great. I do want to go ahead and bump that horsepower up, 1582. And then I'm going to change my main color to the aged red. And the yellow I'm going to leave just like it is on the vinyls. I'm going to swap that up on the next one. And then this here is going to be, I'm going to change this one to I'll leave it at a low boy 2 because it's the red body trailer. And we're going to buy that. And then the next one, we're going to just do just a straight over swap. Just like that. I'm going to change this to 1. And we're going to purchase that. Need to come up with a name for that little get through the gate with the combine header thing. I think we're gonna call it the Riker maneuver or something for those Trekkies out there. Um, I don't like the bigger headers. Kind of make it a little difficult to do some of that, and I kind of worked that out that I could get through it that way. Should get the attach command now for the header. I'm gonna bump that. It's gonna lock it down. I should have actually backed the combine up already, but I did not. So I want to put that back a little further over the wheels there. Change the weight distribution some. Just a note, if you're using these particular combines and header combinations, this truck is not going to go up and down the road like you might hope it would. It's pretty long, and you're gonna have to drive it. Auto drive can't handle it. It'll actually just wind up in the trees more than likely. So, and the reason I went with the long body on the truck, you can kind of see that now, is I really needed to have that extra little bit of room there to allow me to have that right there. And that's just about as close as you can get to fitting something on there. You'll still have trouble sometimes with this, so go ahead and move that back that little dab. Lock your combine down. Don't forget to strap down. And then we're just going to drive this back to the headquarters ranch, and then we're going to come back over here and do it all over again. And I don't have all my road connections put in yet, so I'm actually going to have to be driving a little more than usual. Sometimes I go through and make all my road connections ahead of time, just for to make life a little easier, but I haven't done that this time, so I'm just going to wind up using it the way it is for now. And the reason I grab my combines and trucks that I'm going to transport them on before I set up my barns for these is because I want to be sure that I have plenty of room to make my turns and stuff coming into them, and make my parking as easy as I can. You have to give 82's trucks a tip of the hat here, because quite frankly some of the sound effects and stuff are just about as realistic as you can get without actually being there. And besides the fact that you can set that horsepower up where you can pull pretty much anything, even stuff like this, with relative ease. Barely missed that one. This will be the location of our cattle ranch when we finally get everything set up to get that done. We have to do some pretty significant straw production and things, get us some silage built up, which will allow us to have our feed system set up prior to getting the cattle. So one of the things I try to do is keep things together that kind of go together. And in that vein, I'm going to try to put my barns for these trucks over here close to the silo system. And I think, let's make sure this is going to be big enough. Yes, it is. Check some other stuff first. So there's not anything. I think I'm going to go with this one. It's going to give me an extra. I want to be sure to leave enough room along the wall there to let me have 2 lanes of traffic around the outside edge. Because I like to make a racetrack around the outside of these areas. And I want to make sure this is going to work the way I want it to before I set my roads up through it. See, we're mighty close there. I think it's going to still work though. Okay. Kill the neighbor's crops turning around here. That'll make him happy. Or her. I always suggest testing this stuff as soon as you finish it, just to make sure that you haven't miscalculated what the auto drive in this particular vehicle is capable of doing, because sometimes it is a little different than what you can do as a human driver versus what the AI is capable of. You tend to spend a lot of money up front setting everything up ahead of time versus doing it all at once, but that way once you get started farming, all you really have to do is farm or ranch or whatever the case is you're wanting to do. This part takes a little time sometimes, especially on new paths. I don't know if that's actually the case or not, but it kind of feels that way. Sometimes when it's the first time it's using a new path, it seems to take a little while longer to actually complete that trip. And there we go. Did exactly what we wanted. That's going to end this episode, and hopefully next time we'll have the other combine trucks up here and have some more of the pathing laid out, and may actually get started doing some farming. Until then, thanks from the old L Ranch, and have a good day.